Hi there, thank you so much for joining me today. Kendall Hailstone here, and today's video is going to be about how being vulnerable is one of my greatest strengths. That's something that I've been trying to identify, how I can add value, what my strengths and my unique qualities are so that I can really enrich your life as much as possible, and that I can, like I said, be bringing out my inner beauty so that I can, like I said, be of best service to you. But then a couple other things that we'll be touching base on today is how your value comes from within. It doesn't come externally. And then also we're going to talk about knowing your worth. And so, but before we hop into all of those, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's very helpful for me. So why don't we go ahead and just hop right into it. So, oh man, I was honestly just trying to dig deep this last few days, this last week, honestly, and trying to identify what value I can be bringing to you so that I can serve you the best, so that you will be feeling enriched after viewing this content. And one of the things that I came upon, that I realized through a lot of reflection, a lot of contemplation, but then also through an astrology reading that was done by a very dear friend of mine, Kylie Hailstone. And anyways, it was incredible. And through a fair bit amount of crying, and through some just processing and looking at myself and getting to know myself better, and seeing what my patterns have been, just really identifying and paying attention to my thought patterns, becoming more aware of what my beliefs about myself are, and then identifying some of the insecurities that I've held really throughout my whole life. That has, I feel like, really helped me. I'm hesitant to use the word transcend, but to transform from, I guess, being unaware and not really sure about where my value and where my strengths are that I can bring to you to serve you the most. And now I feel like I'm coming into more clarity about that. Not that certainly don't feel like I'm all the way there yet as far as being crystal clear of the value that I can bring, but I definitely feel like my vulnerability and just the struggles that I go through, or that I have gone through, and that I am going through, just emotionally, internally, just the wounding that I've had, like I said, the beliefs that I've carried through my whole life that I'm in the process of reprogramming right now. I feel like that is of extreme value, because I know that so many people struggle with the same things that I am going through too. And I guess I was resistant, I was hesitant, I was apprehensive about creating content around that, just because I was like, gosh, well, there's so many other people that are doing the whole self-help thing, and I guess I don't really view this as, self-help, personal growth. That's technically what it is. It's about personal growth, but it's really about my story, about where I came from, what my vulnerabilities and my insecurities have been, and how I have bridged the gap from where I was to where I am now, and also looking forward and making plans and making goals, and being more action-oriented and more intentional about where I want to go in the future, where I want to be, who I want to become. And that's been a very key aspect of my life for a good, I'd say, 5 years or so, of becoming the best version of myself. Who do I want to become? And then really leaning into that. And what it boils down to is that I want to be courageous. I want to be doing things that I'm afraid of. I want to be getting outside of my comfort zone. I mean, today, like making this video, I definitely don't want to be doing this. I mean, being vulnerable and sharing with people where my insecurities are is definitely outside of my comfort zone. It's not something that I like doing. It's not something that I feel, particularly called to do, but I just feel like whenever I do it, people around me are very grateful for it. It helps inspire them to be doing the same thing. And honestly, I think that is of tremendous value. And I feel like by me just being an example for other people, that has also tremendous value as well. And so today I mentioned allowing your value to be determined outside of yourself, how your value comes from within, not externally. And that's something that's been a big struggle for me my whole life. And I really just have realized it in the last year. And I'd say in the last 6 months, actually been more acutely aware of it. And honestly, just within the last month or last couple weeks, I've really become more aware of it and have been more intentional about noticing it and then making personal changes around that. And so, just in my whole life, I've definitely been dependent on the feedback from other people to determine my value. So, if I'm doing something, whether it's like I'm singing or I'm playing drums or I'm playing frisbee or I'm gardening or whatever, I'm looking for feedback outside myself for people to say, "Oh, great job, Kendall." "Oh," or "Yeah, I mean that's awesome," or just whatever. I've been looking for essentially a pat on the back to validate myself, because I don't know, I guess I just thought that's how I was supposed to do it, and I don't exactly know why or how I was programmed to operate that way, but that's just how I've been operating, and I've, like I said, become more acutely aware of it over the past few years, and even more so more recently. And I've been, it happened more recently at a drum circle where I'm drumming, and I'm drumming on a djembe, a single head drum. And I definitely like to experiment. I like to try different things, which I feel like sometimes annoys different people, because some people like to be all playing the same thing, whereas for myself, I like to be kind of playing harmonic, if you will, like complementary beats to the main beat, if you will. And that's just what I enjoy, and I feel like it allows me to expand myself creatively when I'm able to experiment and try different things, and this sounds kind of cool with this, and I haven't tried this before, I'll try that. And to me, like, I know what sounds good to me, but I don't know what sounds good to everybody else. And so I've noticed that I'll be kind of looking for feedback from other people. I don't always get it, I don't always get, "Oh, Kendall, yes, that sounded really good," or whatever. Sometimes I do, and then I'm like, okay, good, I know that I'm doing the right thing, the right thing, so to speak. But I'm learning to just notice that, and to just be more confident and self-assured in my abilities. I think that I'm a great singer, and I feel like when I sing, I also look for this feedback from other people to say, "Oh, Kendall, that sounds great," to be like, to confirm, in my mind, that I'm a good singer. But I think I'm an amazing singer, not that I'm a professional by any means, but I thoroughly enjoy it. I think my tone is great. I definitely have things to improve if I wanted to become a professional, which I don't, but just how my voice is right now, and the quality of it, and the technical nuances of it, I think it is good enough. I think that it sounds beautiful. And that's something that I've been trying to lean into more, is just recognizing, yes, this is my strength, and I don't need anybody else to confirm it, that this is where my value lies, and I don't need anyone else to tell me that is so, that I can believe in myself without having anyone else believe in me, is that I can do that for myself. And it's very empowering being able to do that, but it's also scary because for me anyways, being dependent on that for essentially my entire life, I'm definitely going through a transitional period right now of still kind of wanting that, or noticing myself anyways, wanting that approval from people outside myself to validate myself, to confirm my value or my strength. But over the last few days, honestly just the last 2 days, I've been just trying to develop that belief in myself, and being like, no, like, I am a great singer. I don't need anybody else to tell me that. Or I'm a great drummer. I don't need anybody else to tell me that. I have had people tell me that in the past, and, "Oh, Kendall, you're a great drummer," and that's, I guess, helped right now in me developing that for myself. It definitely helps if it can first come from outside yourself, but to continually rely on that, it's just unsustainable. It's you're just setting yourself up to be completely dependent on other people for your value, which is not a good situation to be in. I'll just tell you from my own personal experience with dealing with low self-confidence and low self-esteem for like literally the vast majority of my life. I feel like in the last month or so, I'm finally starting to develop more self-confidence, and doing these videos has been a huge bridge, a huge stepping stone for me developing more self-confidence. And anyways, I've just been going through a huge transformational period right now in my life of gaining more self-confidence, learning that my value comes from within, not from external sources, and just leaning into that and being more intentional about being aware of my thoughts and keeping track of my thought patterns, and noticing that if thought patterns aren't serving me, to refocus, to re-engage with a different thought pattern, different thought system that is empowering for me, that is aligned with who I want to be. And I want to be a courageous, self-confident individual that is able to provide value and to serve others confidently and passionately and enthusiastically. And I feel like all that comes from knowing what your strengths are and leaning into those, and really recognizing what your inner beauty and what your uniqueness is, so that you can really bring that to the world. Because I really truly believe that we all have unique, beautiful, incredible qualities that we are meant to share, And I feel like it's just, it's been a huge process of just figuring out what those are. I feel like I have a ton of strengths, but I've just been very insecure in my strengths, if that makes sense. And now I'm developing confidence in my strengths, which allows me to serve you better and to provide more value for you and enrich your life more deeply, which is what I truly want. And I still don't have all the answers of how I'm going to be doing that, but I think that just being vulnerable, sharing the path that I've been going on, the struggles that I've been going through, the insecurities and the vulnerabilities that I've been facing, and then just being vulnerable and open and honest with you about it, I feel like that is going to be bringing tremendous value to you. And please leave a comment and let me know if that's even true, because I mean, that's something that I believe, and I've heard from multiple people, like I said, when I have been vulnerable with them, I've been hearing, that they feel inspired and they, reciprocate typically. And, sometimes we talk about pretty personal stuff, and, I feel like I'm talking about very personal stuff right now, but, even more so than this, that you would typically define as being really personal, those things get brought up, but then it's in a safe space, that I feel like I partially initiate by being so vulnerable, by being open, and then allowing myself to be seen, essentially, by the people who are closest to me. And that's been a really struggle for me, real struggle, as far as allowing myself to be seen, all of the parts of me, not just the smiley, happy-go-lucky, super positive Kendall, but also like the sad, the angry Kendall, the parts of me that I have held a lot of shame about. And I've been talking more about that with my friends, and actually it reminds me, I want to do another video about shame. Oh yes, that's the next one for sure. But in any case, so yeah, please leave a comment, let me know if any of this resonates with you, so that I know that I can that I'm on the right track, and that I am providing the right kind of value that I can bring to you, that is inherent to what I personally can bring, because that's ultimately what I want to do. I want to be leaning into my strengths and leaning into my unique abilities, so that I can, like I said, I sound like a broken record, but so that I can serve you most and enrich your life in the deepest way possible. So thank you so much for watching this and just going on this journey with me. And go ahead and like this video if you feel like it was of value to you. And like I said, leave a comment and let me know if this resonates with you at all. Share it with your friends if you feel like this is valuable to them as well. And I will see you next time, tomorrow, in my next video. And I'm thinking that'll probably be about shame. Yes, I think that's a good topic to talk about. All right, so have a great day. Peace.